Good morning, guys. It's Naveen joining the call. Can you guys hear me? Could you please type in chat window? See. Great. Thank you, Rahul. Sorry about the delay. And let's get started, guys. Let me just make one of you the co-host. Rahul, I'll continue with you, buddy, if it is okay.
Okay, sir.
Great. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I'm going to make you the co-host. You can go ahead and log into the AWS. I'll also make Aniket and Humera the co-host, just in case there's any power fluctuations. There you go. Okay. So you can go ahead and log into the AWS, Rahul.
Okay.
When you're ready, please share the screen. And let's see where we are.
Yes.
Okay. Scroll all the way down. When you're ready, please share your screen, Rahul.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and log into the controller node, please, after you get in.
Yes.
Okay. Still loading. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and do the history, please. Okay. By any chance, do you remember what does the Linux command cut do, Rahul?
Cut we used to slice from the text file.
Pardon me, I missed the first one.
The cut is used to slice slice contents from the files.
The slicing the contents. Okay, good one. What does F here, minus F, stand for?
Minus F.
Okay, it just stands for fields. You're extracting or slicing the field 1 and 4.
Okay, the field.
What does the switch output delimiter do?
Sorry.
What does the output delimiter?
Yeah, it is adding the space in the output between the fields.
Good answer. And scroller, please. We looked at a bunch of cut and Ansible version. Okay, here's a slightly tough one. By any chance, can you recall what is the line 241 doing?
We are if there is this command gets successful, then the output of this command will be getting stored in the txt file, and if we get error, then that also getting stored in that file.
Excellent. Okay, good one. How about, can you explain line 233?
Yeah, if this Ansible --- version command gets successful, then the output will be stored in the success.txt, or if there is any error, then it will be getting stored in error.txt.
Okay, can you scroll up, please? Keep scrolling up. Let's see. Okay, now here is awk. What are we doing with awk here? By any chance, do you recall?
With awk, we are printing columns using awk.
Very good. And what is this grep d versus grep hyphen doing? What are we using?
We are grepping directories, or if we want text file, then the text hyphen.
Good answer. Scroll up. What is the difference between greater than and greater than greater than?
Greater than is to override, and greater than 2 times is for append. We want to append the data.
Very good. Okay. What is, when you do a head and a tail together, what are we doing there?
We are extracting the particular columns, rows, like from 4 to 7.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll up, please. What is grep doing?
Grep is used to find the pattern in the file.
Good answer. It is searching. Control F is another way to think of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Scroll up, please. Okay. Then we looked at the various greps. Keep scrolling up, please. Okay, I think that's where we work. A Docker commit. Okay, now let's go ahead and press enter. We'll now get a little bit of understanding of unstructured data, and let's see what else we have. Have you created a file called test2.txt? Can you just do an ls? Cat test1. Can you cat test.txt? Good one. That's a completely unstructured data. So what we'll do, let's say, I will give you the first command. So sending you the first command, it's just a simple cut command, but we'll start with this one. Instead of test2, use test.txt and do that. I sent it to you in the chat. And cut minus f. What is the problem?
There is no test2 file. Okay.
Change it to test.txt.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think is happening now? By any chance, can you take a guess?
There is only one field. That's why. If we put tab, then there is multiple fields.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. Let's see. And let me see if I can select something here. 1120. Where is test2? Give me one moment. Let's see if I can give you another example. Test2. It's here. So find this. So cat, the previous. Okay, we'll see. Okay, I think now we repeat the same thing with test1.txt. Cool. So explain, Rahul, just for sake of discipline. You answered it. But
yeah. In the test1.txt, there is a 3 fields because there are tabs in between. But in this line, there is no tab. That's why it is considering it as a 1 field.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. So now what we'll do, it's the test one. Let's say, try bring up the same thing, cut minus D, and you have -1, cut minus D, and say space. Minus D within quotes, within single quotes, give a space.
Okay.
Minus D space, within single quotes,
Okay.
give a space, insert a space. And let's see, test 1. Okay, minus F, cut minus D, and now, comma, minus F. On the left-hand side of 1, put a minus F, space minus F. On the left-hand side, buddy.
Oh,
Okay, try it, please. Can you explain?
now it is slicing based on the space.
Very good, very good. Can you simplify it more?
In this text, in these lines there are tabs, so it is not considering those, and in last two lines there is space in between each word. That's why it is giving first field based on the space.
Very good. So in other words, this is the opposite of the previous thing. In the previous thing, it took delimiter. Now it is taking the spaces as the delimiter. It was not showing the tabs, and now it is showing the tabs rather than the spaces.
Yeah.
Okay, so minus D, what is the minus D doing?
Minus D is
it is specifying the delimiter.
yeah, delimiter.
Okay, now let's say bring up the same command, and instead of minus F, put a minus SF, add an S for Sam. Run it. Okay. Now this is a slightly deep one. What do you think is happening here?
It is not considering these three lines because they don't contain any space in between.
I think you almost answered it. So it's only selecting those fields where there is a delimiter. It's not selecting, there is no delimiter. Slightly confusing there, but that is for the sake of discipline. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just type in HTTPD. It's Apache server, right? Okay. We did not install. I wanted to use Ansible to install this one. Okay. Let's see how many I got here. Okay, I guess we got a bunch of them. I think yesterday we tried installing this, right? Sudo apt install HTTPD.
Yeah.
And I think we got some error.
Yeah.
Can you try it again, please?
Yeah.
You should explicitly just do Google search on the phone. Package HTTPD has no installation candidate. We'll take a shortcut here. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And let's see what they're saying here. Apache 2. Really? They changed it? No. I wouldn't say.
Should I try this Apache 2?
Yeah, please try that. And let's see, you're still not getting it. Okay, can you quickly go back to our search, please? Sorry about that.
Yes.
Let's see what some suggestions are. Sudo apt get update. Oh, retry installing. Just to sudo apt. Strange. We should be able to. We've already done that. Just do a sudo apt get update. Okay. Install Apache 2. Is it really install? Okay. Try HTTPD. HTTPD. Command HTTPD not found. Okay. So go back here. Give me one moment. Sorry about that. CTL-S. And let's see what else I have. Where is HTTPD? We don't have HTTPD here. Looks like HTTP.
Yes, sir. Yeah, here they are saying that note that Apache package for Ubuntu is called Apache 2, not HTTP.
Okay, just type in Apache 2. You don't need to install, you installed it. Okay, so syntax error, default runtime, config variable, it should be here. Let's say, how about CD and let's say, how about this one, Apache? Say, I'm copying this one, sending it in the chat window. Check the status of the server. Okay. Just see Apache 2 is running. Service Apache 2 status. Okay.
Yeah.
It's up, right? It's active and running. Okay, good. So Apache is running. And just say Apache 2. Look where it is. Do a where is Apache 2?
Yeah.
Does give you, it's in user layer. So let's see. Okay. User local Apache bin and Apache CTL. So is there, the last is bin, Apache bin. Where is it? Okay, sbin. I think what you can do is you say user sbin Apache 2. Just do an ls of that one. So that is a file. I'm just looking for this Apache CTL, HTTPD. So user share. Okay, maybe just look in etc Apache 2, lsltr etc Apache 2. Ports conf sites, and let's say there is something called Apache CTL HTTPD. Find number. Why don't you do this? Just say find space. Let's say just say / and grep for Apache CTL. Apache CTL. Grep, pipe it and grep it. No. Find space / pipe it, grep it, Apache CTL.
Hyphen
No, Apache CTL. Just one word.
CTL. Okay.
Just do a sudo. Add sudo for that. There you go. It's in. So what you do now is you can do a control C. We'll say user has been Apache CTL space HTTPD.
What?
Have you copied paste that /user/ has been Apache CTL?
Yeah.
Paste it. Space HTTPD. Enter. Okay. So let me have more information. Now bring up the same thing and do a -v. Yeah, the same thing. HTTPD space -v. Oh. Action HTTPD fade. Strange. Apache error. Just do Apache Apache CTL, right? Yeah. When you just said Apache CTL, it was working, right? Maybe Apache CTL HTTPD. Can you just run a Apache CTL HTTPD without a V? Even that didn't work? I thought that worked, right?
No.
It wasn't working, Rahul?
No, sir. It is also not working.
HTTPD failed. Oh, really? For a moment, I thought that just could you scroll up a little bit, please? Is it been Apache? Scroll up further, where we first time gave Apache to HTTPD.
Apache 2.
So there it is. So it was asking, okay, it was just showing us the options, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of hyphen, we put a hyphen version. Apache CTL space hyphen version. So okay. Give me one moment here. If it is available. What did you do? Can you bring up your previous command? Just put a sudo. Just put a sudo. It's giving an error. Login as root. Su hyphen. Did we have password here? What's the root password by any chance? Do you recall?
Admin
Admin
$123.
Admin $123. Yeah, that's right. HTTP. Now that's not the right password. Okay.
Yeah.
Try this one. Let's say. If you just type in Apache 2, you're not seeing anything.
Can I try Apache 2 hyphen version?
Yeah, hyphen up. That's what I was about to give you.
Yeah.
Not a valid syntax error. Conf default must be absolute or okay. We'll do to server root. Okay, pgrep Apache. Restart. Not HTTPD. Okay. issues. We come back here and give me one moment. Let's see. Strange Ansible. Try. Okay, let's say do yum install. Let's see. Let's try this one. Let me paste this one. Okay. What you do, just go ahead and change sudo su hyphen ans admin. Switch user to ans admin. And execute the one that I have sent you, Ansible web. So looks like the web is not in the right directory. As simple as
yeah, we need to.
I think where will we? This will install. Hold on.
Yeah.
If you're going to be doing Ansible web, it's going to be installing on the host. What we want is ideally we want it to be installed here, which is the local host. Now, if it is a local host, are you able to do an IF config? Just find the IP address. Oh, net tools, huh? You can install that, or just edit the host file. IP address is right here. Edit the host file 172.31.84.238. Copy that IP address for a moment. You see on the left hand side 172.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now edit the host file.
This one.
Just check. Do a head of Ansible config. Head Ansible config maybe minus 15. Head minus 15. This Ansible config. Inventory is pointing to my host, so we'll vi the my host file. And here create a group called localhost on the top. Local, just say local, not localhost. Create a group called local.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here paste that IP address. Oh, what was that? 172, or just look in your, yeah, AWS. We are on private, you use the private 172.31.84. Okay, good. And save it. And now bring up the previous command, and instead of using the web group, use the local group, so that we're installing on this one only. We're taking a slightly longer. So bring up Ansible, yeah, Ansible command. Oh, wait, don't run it. Change the web group to local, which is local host. Okay. Yeah, enter. Yes. Unreachable. Failed to connect host. Oh, we need to again. No. So do a sudo. Oh, no, we have given a -b. We don't have to do the sudo. -b means becoming the failed to connect to the host, permission denied. Public key password. Oh, okay, we need to again go ahead and for the same one. Do we need to do that? local host and full local. I'll come back and see if I have anything else here. Got a bunch of things going on here. This is answerable. But let's say HTTP. Okay. Off print $1. Yeah, let's say come here. HTTP again. Number of records. Then we have grep name. Okay. So what I'll do, I wanted to show you quickly some grep commands based on the version. But of records. Give me one moment here. One moment, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. A little bit of noise coming there. So we'll revisit that back to exit out of ANS admin, ANS admin.
Sorry.
Exit. Come back to
Exit.
Okay. Back to the Ubuntu. Exit. Now create a file called demo. PS demo. Copy paste the 3 columns. The two lines that I sent you.
Yeah.
Save it. Okay, let's see. We'll play a little bit with awk for a few minutes. So here is the next one. Okay, run this one, please. Okay, talk to me. Cat it and talk to me.
Yeah. It is printing the first row.
The
Whether
first.
there is a space or tab.
Very good. As simple as that. So in other words, $1 refers to the first column. Okay, that should be pretty strict. But let's say change that to $0. Okay. Now what do you think?
It is returning everything inside.
Now remove the $0. What do you think it is doing?
Same thing, which is $.
As simple as that. Let's say we want to print the first and the third column. What do you think we should do?
First and the third. We need to pass both after $. Maybe.
Try please.
Yeah.
Okay. Put $1, $3. Cool. Okay. Let's say next one here. I'm sending it to you. Let's say run this one, please. What do you think is happening?
Yeah, it is adding the what is it? Underscore between these 2 columns.
Okay. So in other words, it is adding underscore as the output delimiter. Catching anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe a simple one. Reverse that one. So as simple as that. Okay. Now try the next one. I sent you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say cat the demo. Okay. So what do you think is happening in the previous command? It's a slightly confusing one, Rahul.
Yes.
I think you can answer that.
Printing only numbers. Don't know.
Okay. So I think NR stands for number of records.
Okay.
Let's say NR is 1. So in the first line, there is only one field. Okay.
Yes.
The second one, there are actually 3 fields. That's slightly confusing. How about, let's say, print NR comma $0. So there is 1 because it's taking the tab separator. Number
Number of rows, maybe.
Number of rows. Yeah, there you go. NR is the number of the row is probably what it is. Now NR $0 comma NF, capital NF. Okay, so NR is printing 1, 2. What is $0 printing?
$0 printing all the content in the form.
What do you think is NF?
Number of fields.
As simple as that. So it's indicating 3 fields on the top and 3 fields, but there is something slightly confusing here. Are you able to spot that, Rahul? It's a slightly tough one, but just give it a try.
No idea.
Yeah, that's a slightly confusing one. So let's say, if you look at the first line, it says there are 3 fields and the fields are separated by a space. If you look at the second line, they are actually separated by tabs and still saying there are 3 fields.
Yes.
Which means whether it's a space or a tab, it is taking as a delimiter.
Yes.
How many fields are there in each line, right?
Yes.
But let's say just to in the next line print NR one more time. Print NR. NR is the number of the row, I think. Okay, now change. Now again bring that up and change NR to $NR. Now here's a slightly tough one. Can you take a guess what it is doing?
So
Have a look at the.
yeah, it is when there is a first row, it is taking as a $1, and when there is a second row, it is taking as $2. That's why it is printing like this.
Okay, that's a good answer. But via the demo file, edit the demo file, add another line, third line, just copy paste. Let's say column, we'll say column 3, column 4, column 5. Column 3 space, column 4 space, column 5. Okay, rerun it. Catch it.
At the third row, it is taking as $3. That's why it's returning only column 5.
That row is taken as?
At the third row, there is it is taking as $3. That's why it is returning column 5.
Acceptable. One more time, edit the file. Add column, let's say 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the next line. Okay, run it please. This should give you a clear hint, I think. Got it? Thinking?
Yeah, it is. I believe they are doing same. When there is a column, row 1, it is taking as $1. When there is a row 2, it is taking as $2, row 3, $3, row 4, $4.
Okay, that's a more simple one. So short and sweet, it is printing the diagram. The first field in the first line, second field in the second line, third field in the third line, fourth field in the fourth line. It gets continuing like that. That's like a short. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Back to cat test.txt. Test.txt. Okay. Now grep for line with the double quotes. Grep line double quotes test.txt. Grep for line. Space line. Okay. Test.txt. Okay. So now do a grep space minus f line txt on that. Put the line in double quotes. No, that minus f. First, create another file called vi my underscore search. Say vi my underscore search.
My underscore. Sorry, you are not audible, sir.
Search my underscore search.
Okay.
So pasting this one, add these two lines here.
Yeah.
Save and quit. Okay. Now say grep minus f. Minus f space my underscore search space test.txt. Oops.
Yes.
Test.txt. Test.
Oh, sir.
So what do you think is happening?
Yeah, it is taking the content from the file and then searching in this file.
Just for sake of discipline, add 2 more words into that line, into that file, and just repeat that.
What should I add?
Let's say, just add this.
List.
This THIS. This word THIS.
Okay.
And then at bash. Okay. Run it, please. Cool.
Yes.
So it's also looking for finding this and things like that. Okay, it's coming back, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I want to do, Rahul, is for the next 1 hour, I want to get onto a little bit of Ansible. And
Yeah.
I want to also give a little bit of touch of Docker and get started with Docker today. So we'll take a short 5-minute break, have a cup of water and things like that. We'll come back
Yeah.
and Ansible, and we'll in the coming up days we'll follow the same pattern. Okay, buddy?
Okay.
The rest of you, please take a short 5-minute break and come back, guys, and we'll get started with a little bit of Ansible and Docker. Okay, Rahul, I'm back. Are you back, buddy? Rahul, are you back, buddy? Shubham, Nitish, Kajal, Sai, are you back, guys? Okay. We'll just give a minute here. Oh, great. Thank you, Rahul. Go ahead and share your screen, Rahul.
Yeah.
Back to, let's say, history. I'm sorry. Login as ANS admin. Pardon me. Get into Bash and do a history. Okay. Let's see, we tried installing yum. Okay. Can you explain me what is the line number 231 doing?
Yeah, we are in the worker nodes. We are running this ls command and storing the content in the ls.txt.
Okay, what does -m tell you?
It is module.
Good answer. What is -i?
-i is we are specifying the inventory file.
What is inventory?
Inventory contain the host server's IP.
Very good answer. What is all?
All means all servers which are there in inventory.
Good answer. By any chance, do you remember what is the difference between shell and command module?
Shell, when we specify command, it is taking it as a command, and when we say shell, it is
Pardon me. Shell is a Python module, as simple as that.
okay.
Command is a Linux. It's also like a Python module, but the actual Linux command is getting executed. That's what is command. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notice line number 229. We are doing uptime minus. What does -a represent?
Hyphen is we are specifying commands using hyphen, but what?
-a stands for argument. Okay.
Okay, arguments are. Yeah.
So what kind of module do you think is getting executed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shell module.
More precisely, by default, it executes command module, I think, from what I recall.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you scroll up a little bit in line number 220, 217, 217, what is state equals to present mean?
Yeah. Whatever present state of this Git library there.
What is the present state? Okay. To be more precise, state equals to present means it is installing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And let's see, do you remember what is state equals to latest?
We are installing the latest version of the library.
Good answer. So the latest version, whatever, on a daily basis, multiple versions may be released. Whatever is available in the central repository, it is installing that. Okay. What is
Sorry.
What is -b?
B is we are saying that run this command as a root.
Good. Sudo. Root is what it is. Then again, if you look at line number 213, what is list hosts?
Yeah, we are saying we are listing the host after pinging.
Good answer.
On which host we are pinging using this command, we are listing it.
Good answer. Can you explain line number 208?
Yeah, we are creating the file there in all servers. Ansible.cfg. We are creating.
Very good. Very good. What is file here?
This is the file ansible.cfg.
On the left hand side, what does file tell you?
This file. File is the module, but this module is for.
Good answer. So in other words, file is a module.
Yeah.
And let's say execute, let's say 213.
213.
Okay. But we just added local, right? Why are we not seeing the local?
Yeah, we have added that local group in the different directory. Currently, we are running from this home directory. That's why it is taken from etc.
Good answer. As simple as that. Okay. And so now, let's say come here. We'll talk about something, a new topic called facts. And facts is information about the managed nodes, like operating system, distribution, release, processor, Python, etc. These are referred as the facts. So I'll command, try to execute this command, and let's get a feel of it. Say, pasting it. There's a chat window. Okay, try executing this. What is the problem?
There is no such group.
How do you feel?
I can run for this command in that particular directory where this group would exist.
Or what is the shortcut? Just use all.
Yeah, we can.
Give it a moment. Okay, so what do you think this output is? Tough question. What does it look like to you? I'll give you another hint. What object does it look like to you?
Object, it is JSON, right?
Okay. How about in Python? What does it look like to you?
As a dictionary.
Good answer. What is the difference between square bracket and the flower bracket?
Square bracket. In square bracket, we can specify like a list, multiple cups, or in curly braces we can specify like key pair value, like a dictionary.
A simple answer. So this is more precisely a complex dictionary. It's a dictionary of dictionaries. It's also referred as JSON, JavaScript object notation. Catching
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
Let's say I will give you another one. Okay, try this one. Good. Scroll up, please. It's giving a lot of stuff, but let's see if you can make sense out of it. What are we doing here?
We are filtering from this output icons from yeah, we are filtering the Ansible underscore mount from the output of this setup command.
Filtering. Okay, so in other words, Ansible mounts is a key. Filter. When it finds the key, it's returning you the key. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you think we call it as an Ansible fact?
So can you repeat the question?
Why do we call it as a fact?
Why we are calling this as a fact? These are the configuration of the worker nodes. That's why.
Very good answer. More simple answer. These are like the configuration of the specs of the node, right? What is that? We also refer to this as a metadata. What is it?
Yeah.
It is a truth about the managed node, and that's why we're calling it as a fact.
Yes. Yes.
Catching it?
Yes.
So in other words, fact is a fact. It's a truth. It's a metadata.
Yes.
And let's say change the filter to Ansible underscore architecture. Bring up the same command. Change it to Ansible underscore architecture. Run it. Catching it?
Yes.
So Ansible architecture is the key. It looks like it's probably a 64-bit machine. Okay. So now, what are these? These are called the default facts. And these are the available at a system level. So these are, maybe we can call them as a system design, system level facts.
Yes.
So now what we'll do, I'll give you another one. So I come here, this one, I think it's installed by default. Let's say, try running this one.
Yeah, hyphen. We need to pass hyphen.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Good catch. Let's make a quick note of that. Let's say, okay. Let's say, change Git to HTTPD just for sake of discipline. Let's see what we get. Okay, not found, 0 return code. So it failed, which means HTTPD is not installed there. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's say, just say list ls space /user usr /husband and pipette and grep for HTTP. Okay, run it please. Nothing is there. Okay, so obviously we don't have any HTTP related things there, but let's see. So we are now logged in as Samson. We'll go ahead and log in as root. And say sudo -. Good. Now go to the directory etc ansible. Okay. Now say make directory facts.d. We call it facts.d. Facts. F-A-C-T-S. You can give any name. I think we'll start with facts.d. Enter. Go to the directory. Okay. Just type in git -- version. (225). Okay. Let's say yum install git. For sake of discipline, we already have it.
Yum is not package manager.
Do an apt install. Zero grid. Okay. Repeat it with HTTPD. I think we ran into this one, but let's say try another one. Package. Okay. I will not worry much about that one, but let's say one more time, git -- version, pipette, and awk awk, and within space within single quotes, flower brackets, within flower brackets, say print space $3. Print space $3. Okay, so we're just extracting the version here as simple as that. Okay, and let's say n equals to $1. Now copy this one. Say comment this. Call this as git. Okay, try this one, please. Say paste it here. Okay, try this one, please. What'd you get? 225. Okay. Okay, so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, from what you recall is the we are extracting the first line there. nr equals to 1 means number of. So now create a file called git. Let me say, is for the sake of simplicity, we'll give this name. Say, okay, I don't need this. Git underscore v dot fact dot fact. Yeah. Let's copy paste this part of it. Let's say I'm going to copy this one. Call this as HTTP version, right? Okay, equals to 1. Okay, I will comment this one. Let's say this is a dictionary. So let's say one moment, please. We'll comment this one. We'll also comment this one. Because HTTP is not working. Go ahead and paste this part of it. Let's try to run this one. There you go. Okay, now save it, run it. Cat it once. Okay, now try running that. Problem?
Yeah.
Good. And so what do you think? What do you think is happening here? It's a slightly simple answer, Rahul. You know it, but it's slightly confusing.
Yeah. It is catting it on the screen.
We are catting it. Okay. Okay. What is special inside the cat?
This end of this starting or ending in an ending tag.
Okay. Anything else is special here?
We are using 2 times greater than less than.
More precisely, what I'm trying to ask you is, okay,
Yeah.
try to explain what is going on in this script file.
Yeah. So we are doing Git version and getting the third field and storing it into this Git var, and then
Okay.
okay, yeah. So I'm just we are using that variable here.
Good answer. That's a variable. Git var is a variable.
Yeah.
So that is also referred as an Ansible variable. Is as simple as that.
Yeah.
So switch back to ANS admin. And let's say the facts. Okay. Okay. Before you switch back, can you go back to the root user and go back to the directory, please? etc Ansible. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay, you're back there. Okay, you're again. So no, facts.d. You have to stay in facts.d. Go ahead and go back into the facts.d. VI the facts.d. VI, change it, edit it. And let's say remove the comment hash instead of HTTP. Copy the entire second line, paste it in the third line. Now HTTPD, right? HTTPD underscore version. Okay. Let us see if there are. Can you think of any other program you use them? Any other program which might be there?
Apache 2 maybe.
Which one, buddy?
Apache 2 maybe there in HP.
Can you just exit? Save this exit. Save this exit. Let's go back and see the SBIN. Just do a list of users bin. Let's pick something which is giving us the version. Any program. Scripts and executables. SBIN. FSK. Looking for Apache. Is there Apache here? Can you grab for Apache? Apache CTL is Apache 2 CTL. Let's see. Apache. Okay. Apache 2 is here. Apache 2 space hyphen version. Try Apache. Now you have to give the full path. / users or I think you can try. Syntax, oh, we did not configure the conf file, okay. Syntax on line of 80. Need to configure the conf file. Okay, target. Scroll up a little bit, please. I just need another version of something. Raw module, switch root, alt, reboot, links, tables. Okay. Okay, go back to the file fax file. Okay. Now, for sake of simplicity, HTTPD version also, you put the same thing as, let's say, we'll put the same Git version, but put print $2. No. Yeah. Keep that as $3. Copy line. Copy that line.
Yeah.
Paste it in the 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete the 4th line and paste it. Delete the 4th line and insert it there.
Yeah.
Insert it. Okay. Now just change that to HTTPD_version. Instead of git ver, change it to HTTPD_version. And no, the variable name is git ver.
Okay.
Okay, and change the $3 to $2. Some hacking here. Okay, now uncomment. Below the cat, we have 2 comments, hashes, remove the hashes.
This one?
Yes, please. Okay, save it, run it. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, so in other words, we are using 2 variables is one of the things that I'm trying to convey. Okay, are you?
Yeah.
We name this as a fact file, and we are going to call this as fact. Why we'll call this as fact, we'll try to understand that in a moment. But let's see. Back to SU admin, switch user as ANS admin. Get back into the prod backup directory, go into my directory and prod backup. I think you need to go into my DR. What is your current directory?
Directory
_ backup. Okay. Okay, now cat the inventory file. Cat inventory. We have just one group. Go ahead and add another group. Cat the my host file and copy the DB group from there. DB and okay, copy that. And now paste it in inventory file. Okay. Now let's say first run this one. Okay, so I'm sending you something. Try running this one. inventory. What do you think IP1 should be there?
IP1, we can specify groups maybe.
Good answer. Okay. So this is, if you recall, this is nothing but the setup module. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's say go ahead and we'll do a grep with this one. Okay, run the next one. Didn't get anything?
No.
Okay, let's say try.
Of this gitware file.
Setup. So really what we're doing is we're running the setup module here. When we run the setup module, now what should happen is the facts file which we have given there will also be taken into consideration. And in that, we have defined two variables called gitvar and http dvar.
Yeah.
These are not given by the system. These are the things which are given by the user. So these are referred as user-defined facts. Now, when we're actually supposed to get that. Can you did you have given the right thing, right? Git underscore var. Just grep minus I. Grep minus I, just do a git. Bring up the same command, just do a git. Grep it. Yeah, run it. It's there in the RSA public key. Well, that's not really what we want. Pardon me. So let's see. Very strange. My bad. Okay. So in other words, now we will not get it. My bad. I missed one more thing. So this is what we are getting here, Rahul, is nothing but system level or the system defined facts is what we are getting when we run the setup module. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
So now let me give you another parameter here. Okay. Try run this thing. Run this. Okay. Now run this one. Permission denied.
Yeah.
What does permission denied mean? We need to be root. We need to run this as a root.
Yeah. We need to add -b.
Good. Space hyphen. No, not there. Outside. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what happened here. Straight up in the first one is 238. What did he do? Why is it taking 238?
Not, it is unreachable to itself, not able to access to itself.
Okay. So any other answer other than that one? Sorry about that. Okay, I'll come back to that one. Scroll down a little bit.
We need to set up passwordless access to it,
Itself again.
Yeah.
Which is okay, which is doable, which is not. Now scroll down a little bit and let's see what we have here. Okay, so we're seeing path equals to tags.d, change ID, group ID, owner, the size and things like that. This is nothing but the metadata. And hold on one moment, please. So let's see. Oh, no, my bad. Okay, I see. So earlier we have defined a file called git_v dot facts file, right?
Yes.
Rahul, what do you think
Yes.
is the difference between that one and this one?
Between which file?
What we have defined is git_v dot facts.
Yeah.
What is the difference between that file and this file?
That file is inside this directory. Let's see. Patch.d.
Okay. So in other words, this facts.d is coming with Ansible. We have not defined it.
Yeah.
So data it is giving us is nothing but the system level metadata, which is nothing information about the system as simple as that. Okay. Now let's copy this one. Don't run it. Modify the file name properly to whatever we have.
Whenever I'm pasting from the chat, it is automatically getting executed.
Is it okay? Not a problem. Okay, now bring up the command, change the name of the git httpd to git_v. Okay, run it now. Sorry. What's the problem?
Not find or access.
Could not find controller.
Yeah.
Did we find git_v? Just list it.
Sorry.
We created the file git_v, right?
Yeah.
Just go and look in the directory, list that directory.
Yeah.
We do have it, don't we? It is git_v. Oh, facts. Okay. It's facts. Okay. Change the source and destination. You can bring it up there. Yeah. Just change it to facts. Okay. So now, let's see, the first error, we know it, but the sources here. So can you explain what is going on in this Ansible command?
We are copying this git.fact file in the target servers.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
Target servers are the host. We are copying the file, that is a copy module. Now fix remove that error. Take care of that error. I don't want that error, the first error, to be seen. How do you take care of that?
We need to run the copy ID command. Copy ID to this. Maybe to set up the passwordless SSH.
Or just go back to the find out where we are referring to. I think it is a my host file. I think.
Yeah.
Here the my host file and remove that one. Remove the local part of it or just comment it. Cool. Okay, run it one more time. Okay, so now there is a subtle difference between this output and the previous output. Rahul, it's a slightly. Maybe
Yeah.
tough question. Are you able to find?
Yeah. Previously the file was not there, so it is creating. But this time the file was already there. So
So in
yeah,
the
the change is here it is true, here it is false.
simple as that. That is the thing. In the output, generally we are looking to see if the change is true or false.
Yeah.
If the file is there, it is not copying. Can you tell me why?
It is already there, and contents are also same. That's why.
So in other words, that is a characteristic of the Ansible. It's called idempotent. It will not change if it is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is that mode doing?
Mode is specifying the permission of that file.
Specifying the permission of the file. So in other words, we should be able to run that file there.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, copy that Ansible. Or we just did a copy. Okay. So the Ansible local. Let's see what I'm doing here. Let's copy this one. Paste it here. Oops. Okay. Run this, please. So what's happening?
We are filtering from the facts file, the Ansible underscore local. We are filtering it
Short
from
and
the facts.
the key is empty, as simple as that.
Yeah.
Ansible local is the key.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's say we're already slightly advanced this thing, but more precisely, try running this one more time. And let's see if I'm able to help you understand this one. Let's see. Okay. Try running this one more time, please.
Yeah.
Change the IP one to maybe all. So actually, we should have got the Git version. We should set up. If we do inventory all and we're doing setup, we should be able to find the Git version. We're not getting the Git version. I will look into it and I'll get back to you on the drop. Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
And let's see. Okay. So now what we'll do is we need to connect another network. I have a slightly advanced scenario, but okay. So guys, do this one. I will disconnect for a few minutes. I need to connect to another network for a file, and give me about 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, but 10 minutes. It's 11:50. Go ahead and take for 10 minutes because I need to get into another VPN and I need to copy a file from there. So I need to completely disconnect and come back in about 10 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. I somehow
Yeah.
Okay. I will disconnect. And Rahul, I will probably let me make you the host here. Make host. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll disconnect and I'll be back in a few. Okay.
Okay.
Rahul, are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you make me the host, please?
Yeah.
And let's see. Let me share you this link here. I'll copy this link. And please share your screen, Rahul.
Yeah.
So, back to chat. Okay, go ahead and click on this link. Search for ec2.py and ec or ec2.ini. Okay, click on the ini file. Okay, and let me see. Yeah. So let's see what else we have here. So this is like a configuration file. We have regions equal to all, destination variable, and so on. And let's see, this is going to be a slightly tough task. We'll try to discuss this today and do it tomorrow. But this is which has a bunch of configurations which are actually used on the EC2. Now, one of the reasons when we ran the fact, Rahul, we were not getting git underscore version as part of our output. Can you think the reason why we did not get that? It's a tough question, but can you give a thought why we did not get? Go back to the facts or the terminal.
Yeah.
And when we bring up your history. Okay, and where is that one? I think it is line number 265. Execute that one more time, just for the sake of discipline. And notice we are not getting any. Can you think of reason, buddy? It's a tough one. Sorry about that. I'll give you a hint. Take a look at your.
Yeah.
Take a look at your inventory file. Cat the inventory file. Okay. I'll give you another hint, buddy. See if it makes sense. Ansible is an agentless software.
Yeah.
Does that remind you of something? These two are managed nodes and we are in controller node.
Yeah.
So in other words, more precisely, Ansible need not be installed on your managed nodes.
Yes, yes.
It is only installed on the controller. And what we are doing is we have created the facts in the controller. And when Ansible is running on the managed nodes where it does not have the Ansible installed.
Yes.
So ideally what we need to do is to test this, we need to add a local host. Something like configure the SSH key and things like that. And then we will be able to find out our git underscore version or any other kind of versions and other kinds of additional facts that we need about our system. Catching the point, Rahul?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Are others also catching the point, guys? Are you, that's a slightly deep one, but can you give me a quick yes? Let's see, Nitish, Sai, Humera, are you catching the point? Okay, that's a slightly deep one. Bear with me, forgive me. What's your name? Rahul, if possible, buddy, when you have a few minutes today, see if you can configure, add a local host into this one, inventory, later, when you have few minutes, and SSH, set up the SSH key also, and just test it once. We'll again rerun it for the sake of discipline tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, now that's a slightly deep one. Just give a friendly try. If not possible, we'll look at it. We'll not do it now, buddy. Okay. So today, now, if we are installing, now here is another slightly tough question, Rahul. Give a thought. If we are, let's say, adding our local host into this file inventory, and then when we run it, if we get the information which we are referring as the facts, now there is a problem in that kind of this thing. What do we say? How about let's say there is a problem in that kind of a process or method, procedure. Can you think of any problem, Rahul? And I'll see, since it's a tough question, I'll give you a hint. Let's say, so right now, if you go to Amazon, we have one controller node and two manage nodes.
Yeah.
Let's say we add another manage node. And once we add another manage node, let's say we run it. Or in other words, we add another manage node.
Yeah.
And if we were to run it, what is the problem we might get? Can you take a guess?
Create one more manage node. Then we need to set up the passwordless SSH again.
You need to set up the passwordless. Okay. Acceptable. That's a tough one, Rahul. What happens is, in a real world, you may not launch one instance. You may launch 10. Your clients may need 20 or 100 or 1,000.
Yeah.
So if you launch 10, 100, 1,000, what is the problem?
Yeah. So we need to set up this passwordless SSH for all the servers.
Okay.
Manually.
That is one problem. Okay. That is one problem. Okay. What is the second problem we might face?
Yeah. So we need to specify IP addresses in the inventory file.
It's a very good answer. In other words, what we are doing is we are getting static inventory facts. We are getting the inventory facts on hard-coded IP addresses.
Yeah.
Okay, let us say tomorrow somebody added 100. The first is, let's say you're a very patient person. You hard-coded all the 100 IPs into your host file.
Yes.
Okay, and you're now getting it today. But what is the problem you might face tomorrow? Another tough question.
IPs can get changed.
Very good. They might be, if you restart the machine, you'll get all the dynamic IPs, unless dedicated or configured and things like that, all the IPs change. So that, what will happen?
Sorry?
If the IPs change, what will happen?
If IPs get changed, then you cannot run the configuration on the worker.
In other words, the answer will, whatever we're trying to gather the facts, we will not be able to gather the facts because all the IPs have changed.
Yeah.
So that is, we need a dynamic IPs to be. Without really, we need dynamic inventory. That is referred as a dynamic inventory, where you're not hard coding it, where we are, if you're hard coding it, that is called a static inventory. If you're doing it dynamically, that is called a dynamic inventory. It contains dynamic list of IPs, and we are able to gather. Catching that, Rahul?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that is where, if you go to the link that I showed you, there is a couple of files called ec2.py. Go ahead and click on ec2.py. And let's scroll down a little bit. So there is, this is all the commented stuff. Scroll down a little bit. If you scroll all the way down, this is nothing but a Python file. These are all the keys that they're going to be extracting. And this is where the code is starting, the imports. There are some hard-coded default values here. And here is the EC2 inventory. In other words, we don't need to look at this file. We don't need to worry about this file, but it is to give you an idea. This is a file which generally anybody can use to get a list of all their inventories in what we call as in AWS. Catching it, Rahul? Okay.
Okay. Means using this file, we can get the inventory of servers.
Yes. Inventory, that is nothing but the dynamic inventory. So every day we don't need to hard code. We will just run the script and we get a list of all the IPs which are allocated.
Okay.
Sometimes people use this kind of a technique, buddy. Okay. So now save this file as ec2.py, and we need to put this into the host. So go ahead and copy the file and maybe paste it into your VI. Okay, copy the raw content. Go back to your terminal. Say VI ec2.py, py. And paste it. Answer. Save it. That's a bunch of it. Okay. Write and quit. Now, just to verify, tail the file. Let's take a look at the last 5 lines. Now, just quickly go back to your GitHub thing. Take a look at the last 5 lines and make sure they're matching. Do an end so that you don't have to scroll down. End, buddy. If you click on end, it will take you all the way down. That's a very big file.
Okay.
So if _name equal to main EC2 inventory, okay, just come back to the terminal. EC2 inventory looks good, pretty looks good. Okay, so it almost looks the same to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Now go back to the GitHub, and there's another file called ec2.ini. It's a configuration file. We also need to copy that. Copy and paste that. Create a similar file ec2.ini. Good. Paste it. Exactly the same file. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we'll do, try to run the file ec2.py.
No such file.
Hit the file. Oh, I think we need to look a little bit down. User environment Python. Okay, just type in Python. Haven't we configured Python here?
No, Python 3 was there.
Just type in Python 3. Okay. Control D. Go back to CD, configure, or just do a VI space tilde /.bashrc. Bash RC. Is it no, not bash underscore. Bash RC, buddy. Could you? VI tilde /.bashrc. Oh, sorry. We are now root, right? We are in the quit. Where were we? Where is that one? We are now uncertain, right? Why are we? What was it? Do a CD. Okay, look at your bash profile or bash RC. v8 dot bash rc. I think it should be dot bash rc or ls hyphen a. I think it's bringing up history. Just say ls space hyphen a. ls space hyphen a. All the hidden files. Python history, bash history, dot ansible, dot rc. We don't have a bash rc. So okay, we don't have bash rc here. So just say vi. Just do okay. Look into bash dot bash underscore history. These are all the bash commands probably we've been executing here. Okay, these are all the bash commands we've been executing over the period of time and things like history of the commands. Okay, buddy, quit it.
Yeah.
And let's create a new .bash rc file, vi.bash rc. And just say add where you say alias space Python equals to Python 3. Python equals to Python 3. Okay, save it. And now source it, source. So your C. Let's say. So it's to Python 3. There you go. And dot bash rc. We've added the. So now you type in Python, it's picking up the Python 3. Okay. Now what were we doing? Go and run the go back to that directory where we had ec2.py. Okay, try running ec2.py.
Yeah.
User bin env. So user bin env should cat the file and grep for user bin env. Just give me one moment. Support for one moment, please. Rahul, sorry about that, buddy. I'm back.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say where we are using hash exclamation. We're gripping it and we are setting it. Do you remember user bin env Python means? What that means, that shebang means, Rahul, by any chance? Do you recall?
We are specifying the path of the executable.
In other words, we are letting the environment choose where is Python, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just exit and segment. And okay, we're probably back as root. Now get back in as segment. Okay, get back into bash. And now what we'll do, now let's see if the environment will choose. Run the ec2.py. I think you may need to go into the directory.
Yeah.
Let's say, sorry about that. I think we're still getting the environment, right? So just say which Python or where is Python. And we're in Ubuntu, so it is Python 3. Okay, let's say just type in /user/bin/python 3.8. No, not CD. Just that's probably the directory. Python X is probably there. There's a bin Python. Yeah, just run that /user/bin/python 3. Yeah, just enter. So we're back into Python. So now Control D. Copy that you already copied that. So go back into VI ec2.py. We'll hard code it for now. Later worry about why the environment is not giving us. So do a search of shebang. Rather than looking like that, do a search, buddy. Escape / hash exclamation. Okay, now comma, what we'll do is here we'll put the path Python 3.8. So that will be like what is that one? You just copied that one, put that path, buddy. Python 3.8. Remove the Python. Okay. So now try running it. So import Boto. By any chance, can you take a guess what is the problem, Rahul? It's probably a tough question.
Yeah, the Boto library is not there, so we need to import it first.
It's not Boto. So let's go ahead and install Boto, and let's see what we'll do. Just do an apt install Boto. Maybe you do a sudo. Unable to locate Boto.
We need to do Boto 3.
So, see if pip is here, the pip sudo pip install Boto. Maybe it is Boto 3. Install pip and installing missing destination after pip. Okay, try sudo install pip and sudo pip install Boto. Sudo pip install. install Boto. Pip not found. Okay, so pip is not there, but it said install help. Okay. What else? Pip. So what do we do? Sudo apt install. Oh, try sudo apt install Boto 3. We need to fix this, buddy. I guess we'll need to take this offline and fix this one. Okay. I'll look into this aspect of it. Okay. Rahul? We'll.
Okay.
So let me back here. Let me make a quick note of it. Give me 1 moment here. Install Boto. Okay. So Boto.
Sir, Shubham sent one command in this. 2 commands in this.
Installing pip. Okay. Please go ahead and do that, please. Give me 1 moment, one more time, Rahul. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Installed. Oh, you got it. Okay, very good. So you did a pip install Boto and pip version, and you just installed pip 3 Python.
Python 3 the command.
Yeah,
Which Shubham sent.
great. So Boto is installed. So now try running ec2.py. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Let's see. It's where is that? ./ec2.py. We don't get the import error, but dot get by instance is okay. Region connect. I'm just thinking we're in the same server and it's connecting. Okay. Let me look into this one a little bit more. Rahul.
Yes.
Let's see. I can look at it, but I will need to again disconnect. I don't want to check your credentials. I think it's just complaining about the credentials.
Yeah, maybe it requires the access key and security of the account.
In the configuration file. Yeah, we missed the. Thank you. So what we'll do, Rahul, if possible, if you have a few minutes, just add this to your list of tasks and see if you can configure the AWS thing in EC2.INI. Okay, buddy? You think handle that, or you want me to handle that?
I can try.
Give a try. If you don't get it, I'll take it. Okay. And okay, let me see. So let me come back here. Okay. So before today, actually, I wanted to take up Docker. Let me come back here. Let me share my screen. You can stop the share, Rahul. Okay. Rahul, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So we'll get started with a little bit of DevOps and Docker. I'll give you a quick introduction, and then we'll get into the details. So here is DevOps, guys. Let me bring up my tool. Say, come here. This here. This here. Put this here. Okay. So if you look at this, our objective is going to be, we'll try to understand what is Docker, what is Kubernetes, what is Jenkins, how do projects work, and what is the problem some of the projects are facing in real world. These are some of the aspects that we'll try to understand, guys. Okay. So we have a few people who are trying to understand something here. What is the problem that these people are having? Is this is like the story of a few blind men and standing in front of an elephant and trying to understand what an elephant is and things like that. So in other words, what we're trying to convey here is today everybody is trying to understand what is DevOps. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just moved to a new house, guys, so a few things are going on here. So my apologies about that. Please bear with me. And let's see where we are. So there is the DevOps, guys. We'll try to understand what is DevOps and I'll give you a quick idea today. Okay. So at a slightly high level, DevOps, it is the union of the people, process, and the products to enable continuous delivery of the value to our end users. What does that mean? That we'll try to understand. And let's see, if we come back here, a few keywords. If you take a look at this. So there is continuous delivery. And what we need to try to understand is what is the meaning of continuous delivery. It generally contains some components, continuous integration, continuous testing, and continuous delivery. CI/CD generally goes together, guys. These are things that we'll try to understand and simplify in the coming up days. And so why is it important, guys? Let's try to understand that. Your competition is already doing this. In other words, from business point of view, almost everybody is into the world of DevOps and things like that. And the advantage is increased velocity. What do we mean by velocity? We'll try to understand. Reduce downtime. Imagine we deployed an application and for some reason there is some problem. In a real world, businesses like Amazon, they cannot afford downtime because almost on a real-time basis, which means almost 24 hours around the world, somebody is accessing Amazon and things like that. So in other words, downtime is not acceptable for them. So what should we do is sometimes maybe even if something goes down, it needs to be as minimal as possible. So, and what is it? It's not just Amazon today. Everybody wants to be in that stage. They want to keep their downtime as low as possible. Any chance of an error, whether it's a human error or other kinds of errors, should be caught much earlier, much further is what it is. And what is that? In other words, not just the human errors, but any errors should be caught upfront is one of the objectives, guys. Okay. These are some high level objectives, but there are a lot more low level objectives. We'll try to discuss in the coming up slides, guys. Okay. So at a slightly high level, DevOps consists of three main components of the stages: the people, process, and the products. Some people refer to it as a three P's: people, process, and products in a project management world, environment, and things like that, guys. Okay, so let's try to understand. In a real world, generally what happens is we have developers. Developers is a group of developers. Developer team is a group of developers. And what do? They generally write code. And what do? They ship it to another team at the time of deployment that is generally referred as operations team. Together, they're referred as DevOps. But the problem in real world is everybody work independently. What the developers are doing, the operations team do not have any idea, and vice versa. To be actually practical, you don't really need to worry. The operations team does not really need to worry what they are developing. But what they need to worry is whatever they're shipping needs to work in different kinds of environment. Whether it's a development environment, a QA environment, a testing environment, or production backup or production environment, whatever is being packaged and shipped by the developers need to be working as, okay? That is what they will worry about. So in other words, we have development team and operations team. And there it is. The developers team are handing over a package. The package is nothing but a container. More precisely, that is nothing but the software build. Once the developers write the code, they hand over the build to the operations team. That is generally the process, guys. Okay. Then what do we do? The problem that is mostly happening is since the operations team does not have an idea of what the developers are doing, they run into the problems when they deploy it in different kinds of environments. A QA or the testing environment or the production backup or other kinds of backup staging environments. The build which was given by the developer may work in a development environment, but it may not necessarily work in a production or other kinds of environments. And as a result of that, what can happen is that's where the operations team get into trouble. The problem is not with their thing, but the problem is with the code that they have or the build that the developers have given would be the mantra for the operations team. The operations team will just raise their hands and say, this is not our problem, this is the problem of the developers, is what they will say. In other words, that is what is the problem, guys, okay? So at a slightly high level, when the build does not work in different kinds of environments, what is it? That's a major problem. That might stop the deployment of many other tasks. Many other tasks in an enterprise or a business, or more precisely a large business, they have a lot of dependencies. So let's see. Okay, so let's see where we are. So Nitesh, Moin, Aniket, are you with me, guys? Sorry about little bit coming from my side, but are you guys able to follow me? Can you give me a quick yes, please? Okay, so stick with me, guys. I'll take a few more minutes. I'll stop it for today. And let's see. So the second component of the stage is the process. What is the process, guys? Generally, we have the development. Before development, we are doing the planning. The development is where we are developing the code and things like that. Once the development is done, we hand it over to the QA team. That is where the testing is done. They need to make sure that all the core scenarios are working. And once the QA team or the testing team once the testing team tests it, it is released. It is between the left-hand side and the right-hand side where the exchange is being done. Okay. Okay, so in other words, just for the sake of discipline, guys, I'll go a little bit deep into it, just to get my point across. So in other words, the left-hand side of the wall is where the developers are, and the right-hand side of the wall is where the operations team is. And what is happening is, generally, this is what is expected by the customer. But by the time, imagine, the development is done, they're giving this one. The output that goes from the development team to the building team is being released. When they release it, what happens is you deploy it into a production environment and then you start monitoring it. But what is happening is, generally, most of the times what the customer is expecting is a product, something like that, but what they're getting may be a different one. In other words, it is not necessarily a different one, but what this means is maybe there are some bugs. If there are some scenarios which are important, which are not working for the clients, what is that? That is a very, very big problem. So what is happening is, that is one problem. And most of the times what happens, guys, you can take, let's say, come here. This is the build which development have done. By the time it is handed over to the deployment team, what is happening is, at the time of deploying, what is happening is they run into issues. The development code of the build, once you compile it, the build is the build file, which works in the development environment, may not work in different other environments, which is a common grievance and a common problem. Which is faced across the enterprise industry and things like that, guys. Okay, so that is from a process point of view. And let's say move to the next one. Okay, if we go a little bit deep, a little bit of theory in this one, guys, just bear with me. These are the different stages. You plan is where the project management team is at work. They're trying to come up with the project, the estimations of the resources, the tasks, and they try to plan. That is what is planning. Then the project management team is tracking the progress, and they try to manage the work, which is manage the resources, manage different kinds of tasks and things like that. Any changes are being planned further, and the project status is being tracked. This is the mostly where the project management team comes into perspective, guys. Okay, once the planning is done, then the development begins. Development is where the developers are writing the code, and once it reaches a certain stage, they will start releasing it. That's where a build is created, and they are doing the version control of different kinds of source code files and the builds and things like that. That is generally managed by the build team. At a development stage, the version control is being managed by the version control of the source code files is being managed by the development team. And the developers will also write what is called unit tests and things like that. If time permits, we'll also look into the unit test guys. Okay, so what is happening is, most of the so in other words, that is what the developers do. Once the developers do, what they're doing is, it is handed over to what is called the testing team. The testing team, an application more precisely may contain 10 or 100 features, and the QA team is actually testing it. Whatever the code, is it working in the way is it expected to be? So in other words, this whole part is where the developers are coming into the perspective. Developers and the testing team is coming into the perspective. Now, once that is done, what do? Is they will go ahead and they think the QA approves it. They will go ahead and hand it over to the operations team. Operations team is now deploying it. It is deploying in the different kinds of environment. The functional testing environment. So there it is. This might be a user acceptance testing. In other words, another round of testing there. If at all it is necessary, an application may be integrated with other kinds of applications or web services, such as maybe payment gateways, the credit card processing, maybe user ID verification. So that is what is integration is about. And pre-production environment before actually deploying it into the production environment, they may also run it in multiple environments to make sure which are the replicas or the duplicates. Which are the duplicates of the production environment. They try to run in these and make sure there are no issues. And then comes the staging. Staging can be thought of as maybe a backup of the production. So another round of production backup, and then finally. So, pardon me. During this stages, what is happening is the build is being deployed into multiple locations, multiple environments, and things like that. And what needs to happen is what is the build which is coming out should not end up something like, let's say, this. Oops, pardon me. Say, put this. Should not end up this one. In other words, what it comes out, it needs to run in the same way, but what is happening is, again, it might be the same point I'm repeating. In multiple environments, it might not work. This is the common problem that we generally the build teams or the operations team face in a real world. So what is happening? Together we have the devs team and the operations team working together, and they are running into issues. What is that? That's a big issue. Is what it is, guys. Okay. So here are different kinds of tools which are generally used across different stages and things like that. Last slide for today, guys, and I'll leave you after this. So during the time of planning and things like that, different project management tools are there. These are some of the project management tools that is complete tool for tracking bugs and tracking tasks and so on, guys. These are generally the tools that are being used by the project managers. These are the different kinds of development tools, the VS Code, Microsoft Visual Studio.NET, Java related tools and things like that the developers use. GitHub, GitLab, Git is a version control system. Whatever code they write, they plug it into this, they maintain different versions so that the history of the code is there, because there might be different features which are working in certain environments, not working in certain environments. They're working in certain days, but not working on certain days. So many times they may fall back to previous versions and things like that, guys. Okay. For that, the version control comes to the rescue and things like that. That is what it is. Then comes the, let's see, what do we have? These are the administration tools, the Splunk, Nagios. For you, we are monitoring the hardware servers, the different kinds of process and things like that. That is for the monitoring. Then we have the deployment, infrastructure as code tools, the configuration management tools, and deployment and orchestration tools. That's where the Chef, Puppet, and Terraform and all these things. And there's a favorite, Ansible. That is by far, I think, one of the most popular tools. And so on, guys. These tools come to your rescue. This is where the infrastructure as code. So in other words, we are looking at the code, more precisely looking at the code at a configuration level. Using the configurations, we are trying to deploy it into multiple servers. Multiple servers is nothing but the multiple hosts, and that is what our host file in our Ansible is, guys. Okay. So in a single shot, we can move the files, copy the files, build files, different kinds of files into environments, and more precisely, we can maintain the consistency. We're not missing any servers. By chance, the chances of errors will reduce. And it becomes easy to monitor and manage also. That is why everybody is looking at tools such as this one, guys. Okay. So these are the different kinds of tools which are there. And what else we have? These are some of the build tools, how to manage the build and so on. And that's also we'll try to understand We'll try to focus a little bit on Jenkins and try to understand a few scenarios and projects of Jenkins. That is one of the most popular tools. And that's where the concepts of Dockers and Kubernetes will come into the picture. We'll also try to get a feel of them and try to understand these things, guys. Okay. So at a slightly high level, these are the different kinds of tools. At a theoretical level, we look at some of the important tools here, most popular tools here that are generally used in a real world. If you have an idea of these tools, the other tools will become easier for us to use and understand, guys. Okay. That is going to be the plan for the coming up days, guys. Everybody with me so far, guys? Can you give me a quick yes, please? Okay. So for today, what I will do is, guys, allow me to wrap up here. We'll continue the journey from tomorrow and go from there. Everybody okay, guys? Okay. Okay, guys. So you guys stay safe and keep learning, guys. Allow me to sign off here. We'll continue the journey from tomorrow. Signing off for today. Thank you and bye for now. Thank you again, guys.